And we're live now with number 8, and Instagram is loading up and things are rolling. And Mark's going to hit the road and he's packing up and he's looking a bit like he's from the North Pole. And I'm loving that.
Yeah, I got my Santa franchise again this year, and you know, I'm going to be just really digging into my gratitude this week. I know that a lot of us are in mixed situations with regards to how we feel about this holiday. It's a time to celebrate abundance and harvest and each other and to get with family, and sometimes that can be traumatic for people. Sometimes that can be like the thing that actually warms their hearts in these winters. And what I know about my own experience is that I feel a lot of gratitude, and I have stressors, but I have the way to move through them. And
You have dresses?
stressors,
Am I one
STRESSORZ.
of them?
Occasionally, yes. And no one is more stressful on myself than myself, and that's a lesson for everybody. Like, come on, people, give yourself a break.
Come
Get
on,
off
everybody.
the hype train, get off the criticism train. Whatever you need to do to take it down a notch and sink into the chair.
Hey, I noticed that you were really moved by the passing of Mr. Cliff earlier this week.
Yes, Jimmy Cliff was a tremendous influence on my music, and also on my life. Yeah, I was alive when the film Harder They Come first came out, and I was taken there by my uncle and father as a wee lad.
How old were you? That was like 74, wasn't it?
I think it was 75, but I'm not certain. So I would have been like 11.
Yeah.
If it was 75, I would have been 12. So
Wee lad.
it was definitely amazing. And it ran, we saw it more than once at that point. And then my parents bought the album right away. And we would, people would have house parties in those days. And I remember that album you could just put it on and let it run,
Yeah.
and the party would rock.
Yeah.
Like everything, even all the way up to Sitting in Limbo, which gave everybody kind of this really relaxed vibe after they'd been dancing super hard.
Isn't Many Rivers to Cross on there too?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's another soulful. Yeah, Jimmy hit. And my brother was also moved, which surprised me. I didn't know he was. I mean, anyone who loves music, I think, loved Jimmy Cliff or still does. But I just didn't realize how close my brother felt to his music.
It's funny because people think about Bob Marley and they say Bob Marley broke reggae, and to a large degree, Bob did. He did a lot for that. But Jimmy was first onto the international market, and he kept going. Yeah. He was 80 when he died, and just amazing performances. It's like kind of thing like where you just take it for granted because he's on this show, great, like, and you watch it and it's just phenomenal. He always had a bunch of backup singers. The recent shows that I saw and reviewed on YouTube had him starting off the show with a Nyabingi drummer setup, which is where everybody just sings and plays the hand drum, and including the big bass drum, like boom, 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 boom. And he always ended that segment with the idea of peace and love for everybody. And I think that's, he and Ringo are getting it right when they talk about that, I think.
Amen. Yeah, that's great. I was just thinking, you talked about gratitude and family and these elements that push us and try our patience, as it were. And I was talking with a friend the other night, and she mentioned how being human is challenging. It's hard. It's difficult. And then I said, it is. And also it's wonderful. It's beautiful. And if you can hold both those at the same time, It's a beautiful place to be. And this talk of Jimmy Cliff and music, it's music. Like, I'm really grateful for music. It is a very universal language. It is something that I think every human can resonate with. Oh, there's a pun there, but
Yeah. Um, what occurred to me when you said holding them both was go ahead and just let it go. Let the struggle go, right?
let it
Whatever. Yeah, if you can, and I think that when the highest aspiration around the American Thanksgiving holiday is for everyone to just push pause, be together, share a meal, and let go of all of that and just see each other, see how much we have in each other. My father likes to talk about this challenging age of human evolution and how all of the different intersections of the various things that we're being challenged to manage in our biographies. And he says, what people really need most is tea and company. And it doesn't matter whatever, like if you've got billions of dollars and you're by yourself on your yacht, it's no good. You need tea and company. And if you're sitting in your home and you don't have a turkey and you're not likely to have even a rich meal, you're barely scraping by, then having company and some warm tea to share that with is the gift of the moment. So I think, that's where I'm at is it's tea and company.
I love it. And that just brings to mind a meme that I saw 2 days ago, and it shows a father sitting on a park bench, and right next to him is his son. And the meme says, "Why children are happier than adults." And the father sitting there pondering, and you can see in the thought bubble planes and money and stuff. And the child's thought bubble is his father and him sitting on a bench.
Yeah, totally. Um, it reminds me of this other thing. There's this movie with Jim Carrey called Yes Man. And
Yeah, love
in
that.
it, there's this moment where he and the love interest in the film, played by one of my favorite comedic actresses, and I'm sorry I can't remember her name right now. Um,
Jerry Atwood.
Zoe Deschanel, that's who it is.
Oh, I love her. Really? She
So
was in that?
yeah, she's in that with Jim Carrey, and so they kinda are flirting and falling in love, and they're on one of their early nights together, they go out and get wild, and they decide to go to sneak into the Hollywood Bowl in the middle of the night. And so they're where they're not supposed to be, and it's like 3 in the morning, it's way past bar closing, and they're just having these conversations, and at one point, the security guard's like, "Hey, who's out there?" And they run, and they hide, and they get and they're actually way out in the cheap seats, and Zoe Deschanel turns to him and says, When we're kids, we realize that life is just a playground, but somewhere along the way, we forget."
Yeah.
And to me, that is the one of the greatest wisdoms is that when we can remember that childlike wonder in ourselves and remember that this is ultimately this beautiful place of discovery and play, it really elevates the experience.
Yeah, and part of the play is like last night, I was thinking I'd sprinted out the garbage cans down to the street because it's garbage morning, and I almost slipped and fell. And I was like, oh, you know what? As a kid, that wouldn't have a second thought. Like, I'd be like, oh, like I wouldn't even care if I fell. And I was like, that's where I want to be right now as an old fucking man, like, yeah, so
You're
what?
just getting started at being an old man. Like you're not even there yet. Like get over yourself, buddy.
Oh, you're up squishing your head.
Woo.
um, all right. Well, I know that you gotta go. I love you dearly, Mark. I'm certainly really grateful that you are partnered in this adventure with Moped Outlaws. And it's been quite the season as we're getting close to the end of our season 5. And
What I want to say is I agree. It's been getting more and more interesting and accelerating. And I've learned so much for myself and by about life from being in partnership with you. And your perspective is often super helpful both in our interviews but also just in terms of our offline conversations, and I'm really grateful for you. And um, we have a guest coming up that I'm really excited about, and I won't go into it. You'll just next Monday when the episode drops, and you're starting to come out of your turkey hangover, uh, you're in for some fun. And of course, this week's episode with Ellen Hewitt is amazing. Be sure and check that out. And I was going through and looking at the organizations that we support, and I had two experiences this week. One was I went to a event in Forestville, and one of the hip hop acts there was from Compton, and he had fallen in love, and she was from West Sonoma County, and she said, "Come move up here." And he was like, it was such a world of difference for him. Like the difference between Compton and rural Sonoma County is,
Yeah.
and he just blew the doors off the place with his talent. And
Wow.
his everything about his what he said in his raps and his lyrical delivery was very life affirming. It wasn't gangster rap. And he was so positive, and it was such a cool thing to witness this 20 something man who really put together and delivered an amazing performance. And then also, so I thought about Compton Cowboys and how that intersection of rural life in Compton makes such a difference. And so when we say support Compton Cowboys, we're not just throwing it out there like a fucking sugar ad, right? Like these guys are doing really important things. And then this week with all the orgasmic meditation and all the controversy that people have been having around Ellen's book, and how people are traumatized, particularly women are traumatized and trafficked. And that made me remember Blast and how the woman who runs Blast and the organization Blast they're not huge. They're not backed by millions of dollars, but they are in the trenches every day making a difference for people. And, you know, it's that time of season where people who need tax breaks are giving money away. So I'm really hopeful that you will go to mopedoutlaws.com and that you will look at Blast and you'll look at Compton Cowboys and you'll give as much as you can to them.